we need to talk about lockdown anxiety. Hey homie, most of us have never really experienced anything on this scale before. And I think for the first time ever, we are in a state of relatability and understanding. There are so many reasons not to be okay right now. And as humans, we tend to focus on the reasons not to be okay. Some of us don't have enough money saved and are stressing about our financial security. Some of us are paranoid about where this whole situation started. And some of us wonder what's life going to be like after all of this is over. This whole situation is something that is out of our individual control. And that feeling of powerlessness can really be crushing sometimes. So I'm making this video for myself and I'm making it for you as well. And if I can help only one person, that's going to be a win for me. Let me start by telling you a bit about my situation right now. I'm living in China at the moment, and this whole situation started with me living in one of the most populated cities in the world. 25 million people, and I still don't have any friends. I've had to keep working even though I was only paid 30% of my Feb salary, and I still haven't been paid for March. That means I'm out about 64,000 Rand or about 4,000 US dollars. Needless to say, it hasn't been easy staying happy with things being as it is. That being said, I know I'm not the only one going through rough times, and I want to share with you what I do to keep my head above water. I recently started with abundance meditation. A friend of mine started a group to share it with me. Shout out to you, Christian. You're a homie. And even though I'm only on day 3, I've already experienced numerous benefits, and I've learned a few things about myself that I would like to share. The first thing I realized is that we are what's valuable. I was on top of my apartment building, looking down on the city from the 15th floor, and I imagined seeing myself walk the path I always walked, and just how small I would be looking down from above. Then my mind went to what we think of as valuable in this world, and my mind went to the cosmic scale, imagining all of the gold and diamonds in the universe brought together to form a ball bigger than the size of our planet. And then I thought about money, which is either a bunch of numbers in a bank account or simply pieces of paper. And after this whole situation is over, there will be no more or less valuable things on planet Earth. We are all part of the whole, and we are the ones that give things value. I was suddenly aware of the abundance of our universe and realized just how petty my worries can sometimes be. The next issue we tend to bring up in our minds is this feeling of being trapped. And I found the best way to deal with that feeling is to restructure the thought, I am trapped, into I have more time to focus on myself, my home, and my family. By reframing our thoughts, we can change the way that we feel about things. Talking about control, the next thing I recommend is sticking to a sleep schedule. Me being a bit of a hippie, I do believe that I feel better if I rise with the sun. But there is also a decent amount of scientific evidence that suggests waking up early has health benefits. Staying up late watching series can be good fun and all, but if you're anything like me, you sleep enough but still wake up feeling tired after that. Then, when night rolls around, the sleepiness goes away and you start the whole cycle over again. It can be very destructive and it can lead to feeling unmotivated and downright depressed. The next thing I would suggest, and this is more personal preference, is avoiding the news. I'm trying to avoid all news coverage on the current situation, and I have good reason to do so. The way I look at it is from an economical standpoint. News companies are businesses. Businesses need to make money. They make their money by having returning viewers that they can sell ads to. So if they sell you information, that keeps you coming back, keeps you terrified, that gives them very good incentive to do so. If they only gave you information that set you at ease and left you feeling peaceful, you wouldn't come back to see if there's any new updates to make you feel better. And it comes back to just taking back control. Instead of giving the control of how you feel about things to a news organization, you can keep it to yourself by just ignoring what they say. During this time, we are spending more time home than we ever have, and living in a chaotic home will lead to a chaotic mind. And I think there's enough chaos in the world as is. This comes back to just taking control. Cleaning your apartment or house takes a bit of time, sure, but it's a little thing you can do to just regain a sense of control in your life right now. And the last thing I want to share is meditation. Meditation is one of those things that's usually overlooked, and it's also something that comes back to control. Sitting down, being quiet, keeping your eyes closed, trying to stay awake is an absolute practice of control. You are practicing to do nothing. Like, I think we as humans, especially during this time, are looking for every reason to distract ourselves. We wake up, we pick up our phones, we open Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, just to have something to distract us from our own thoughts. We rarely really do nothing. We are constantly in a state of distraction. Like, sure, sleeping can be seen as doing nothing, but that's something that's kind of mandatory. Taking actual time out of your day to do nothing, to just be one with your thoughts, and to actually experience the things that you want to think about is something that can be very beneficial. And there's actually some scientific evidence behind that as well. Studies have found that meditation affects your heart rate variability. And without going into too much detail, heart rate variability is directly linked to your willpower. So by meditating, you allow yourself to have more willpower during the day. And that's something that I see as invaluable right now. I have a lot more to say, but I don't want this video to be too long. If you want to know some more, do feel free to ask me a question in the comment section, and like and subscribe if you want to see some more content. Cheers, homies.